As you can tell from the excitable tone in my voice, I'm really hyped on this idea of getting cheap house paint and painting stuff really big and using brushes and cheap equipment, because you can do a lot with a lot less. Using spray paint is almost like spraying a lot of money straight onto the wall, and if your piece turns out bad or it gets painted over, it gets really expensive after a while. So I went down to the wall, the practice wall, to do a piece last week, and Chrisna came down as well, and he did a piece at the end of this wall here. And I was trying to do something a little bit different, so I was trying to keep the shapes really simplistic and childish and bring a sort of gritty texture to it through the brushwork and the line work. So it was pretty good to practice this. I was just painting some characters and getting used to using the brush on the wall. And Chrisna was doing a piece. He was doing a frog, which turned out really cool. It was a pretty fun day until Chrisna, he had left and I was there by myself, and I think that white paint was reflecting in my eyes all day, and all of a sudden my vision started to go really weird. Everything started to look like cracked glass, and I was seeing all these squiggly lines all over my eyes, and I was trying to blink and trying to get rid of it and trying to focus my eyes, and I couldn't read anything on my phone. So I went to the pharmacy because I thought I was going to have a pretty bad migraine. And I'm looking at the girl at the counter, and she looks all weird, like her head's all strange looking. And I went home, and yeah, sure enough, I had a migraine. The next day, I had to go down to do a live painting with Lindsay and Isaac at the King Road Brewing event. Here's Lindsay fumigating the whole place out. My one was a picture of the mother bird pouring beer into the baby bird's mouth. I don't know if that's really family friendly for the family friendly event, but I guess no one would really care. And then my piece fell down. Luckily I wasn't standing under it because the wind came through and blew it straight down. It was pretty heavy as well. It was braced together with this steel frame which would have squashed me if I was standing underneath it. But it's all good. I mean, it just adds to the adventure. It's like extreme painting. It's an extreme sport painting out here in the bush with these strong winds. Thankfully there was no kids around or anything, otherwise they would have been dead. It would have been bad to have some dead kids at a family friendly event to go along with this painting here of kids getting drunk with their parents. But yeah, I was really happy with the piece. It turned out pretty cool. Something completely different to what I was doing the day before. I was trying to make it look clean and cartoony instead of textured. So the next day I went back to the practice wall with Corey, aka Ferly. It was a really stormy day. There were just moments where the sun would come out, but overall it was raining, it was wet, it was pretty gnarly. It was not a really good condition to go painting, especially outdoors, but for some dumb reason we decided, let's just have a go. Let's just see how it turns out. And the weather did clear up for moments at a time, which was really helpful. Sketch in one hand, human printer on the other.
What a time to be alive.
And here we have the Muralist multi-tool. You can roll, you can brush.
You can have a good time. The trick is not to press too hard so that you stick up and snap.
It was really wet and it was washing all the paint off as we were painting, but it still worked. But it still worked out. It's really liberating to paint stuff at such a large scale because you don't have to worry about your tiny little marks and the way that they look, because it's all about how it reads from a distance. So you can really have a lot of fun with big movements, and just the actual act of painting is really fun. So you can see here Corey's doing some cool stuff, trying some different marks with the paintbrush on a stick, different textures, going for the loose look, and I think it turned out really cool, like especially with the colors. We picked up another big tin of teal paint. Yeah, it really helped to make it pop. So these paintings are actually really cheap materials wise.
Nothing's ever fucking easy, is it?